and a good morning. Saturday, September 11, 9/11. This is a day that I will never forget. September 11th. Two beautiful towers filled with glorious believers and people and lives lost because of evil. We are living in an evil world. We are living with evil people. And they don't know it. Psalm 121. I will lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Where does my help come from? It comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Do you lift up your eyes to the mountains? Do you realize just how wonderful it is to be a child of that King? It reminds me of Elijah. Elijah is probably one of the best sources of hope for a Christian on this earth. He was constantly in conflict with evil, from the king and the queen to the prophets of the pagan god Baal. And he overcame every time. As a matter of fact, his faith was rewarded by him being beamed up instead of dying a death. He joined God in the clouds. And how do we know that? Because his faithful servant and student, Elisha, witnessed it. He told about it. So, my hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness. It's that simple. So if you do not have hope, if you do not have eternal joy in the Lord, it's your fault. And you'll pay for it. 9/11. Do you remember what you were doing? I had just poured my first cup of coffee for the day, and I had turned to my wife and asked if she was ready for coffee, and the television was filled with horror. First, a commercial jet flew into one of the buildings. That was bad enough. But then a second one hit the other one. And then both of them began to crumble and fall. And people panicked. And people died. And then another plowed into the Pentagon, and a fourth into a field in New England, sent there by brave former servicemen. Let's roll, he said. All because of sin. All because of evil hearts. We are surrounded on all sides by the enemy. And my hope and my justification and my peace and my joy are based on the grace and mercy afforded me by a loving God. I know in whom I have believed and am persuaded that he is able to do that which he promised unto me against that day. I have hope, I have joy, I have comfort, but it still is tough walking this vale of tears, isn't it? Yep. So, therefore, that which I have just plucked from my box of chocolates is worth a repeat. I lift my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. So, from right here in my little corner studio, the eagle's nest under the shadow of Kyle Field, I wish you a good morning and Godspeed. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and may the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you and give you peace forever and ever. Amen.